but also didn't expect. Overpass could have made sense. What's important is this is what is ahead of us. And what's important is that the pieces of evil geniuses on an individual level were starting to show up tonight.
We know a lot of prep has come into Mirage, at the very least for EG, because they don't have any map wins on this. Sprout are not good on this map, so I think at least, you know, they wouldn't expect Sprout to have worked so hard on Mirage. It would probably be hard for Sprout to know it's coming in this veto. These are two advantages that EG have. I don't know if that's going to be enough, though. Again, you want to play to your strengths in vetoes, so we'll see how well practice has gone. But they're coming off a 16-5 loss to Heroic on this map.
Oof, not ideal.
Totally tossed up.
Of course, shout out to Jakey and MC, your camera operators this evening. Looking for action as we all are, but this is a very creepy crawly pistol. Back already through underpass into the apartments, and it looks like we're going to have an evil geniuses all in A.
It is the place that the CTs wanted to go, and there was no test on middle, so because of that, I think Sprout are going to be quite happy. Going to come down to the frags now.
It's going to be simple. One smoke, one flash. The jump shot initially. Ooh, Zyphon, empty-handed, neaLaN with the double, and then Brehze gets that headshot from across the bomb site. So all of a sudden, it's real clean EG. XELLOW, nothing. And we could be looking at evil geniuses with 5 up in the pistol, like a hot knife through your gut.
Through your gut, ouch. Butter knife?
No, katana.
Ooh, what would be worse though, you know?
Probably a butter knife, man.
It wouldn't kill you. How are you supposed to tell people you got stabbed by a butter knife?
I wouldn't.
A cool story.
I wouldn't. I would hide it.
You would lie and say katana, wouldn't you? Shout out to neaLaN. Strong Ancients, great pistol here. And again, Sprout, they wanted it to be A. They were only just playing retake on B, basically, standing back and waiting. They had more than enough in the way of players to stop that hit from having any success, and they delivered nothing.
Yeah, sandwich player could have given us something.
I think it was a fairly salient point from Yanko that on this map, it might be one that Sprout don't get punished as much for the over-rotations as they would on Ancient, as they potentially will on Inferno. And that was an issue, of course, on Ancient. But Mirage can definitely be a little bit more forgiving in that way.
Will EG be forgiving or relentless? Because they had some pretty complicated moments on Ancient, and I feel like as much as Sprout may not over-rotate and complicate their end of things, if EG want to swing for the headshots, go ahead. They lose neaLaN at the start of this. XELLOW in with the deagle. Looks good. Chance at another one, but Wiz, who honestly looked good on the op, and also his rifles. Had some very clean AK clips across the T side. Nice to know his skill is diverse. Zyphon finds another deagle shot, and now he's going to have to be the end-all of the last 2 EG players, one of which has that bomb and is running over towards the B site. So poor Zyphon realizing he is being led on a wild goose chase versus HexT here in the Palace. But there's a gun to grab.
Yes, and he actually, I mean, he knows what's happening right now, that there's just a delay. So Zyphon, he's running as fast as he can, and Wiz, he gets caught in the window. Rotation's a little slow from Zyphon. He's gonna run through the molly. Window for Cat, and it gets disrespected. 40 seconds, HexT on 7 HP. Residual damage from earlier in the round. And Zyphon, well, he knows he can reposition to almost anywhere. Hex is gonna be very slow. And he gets into the spot with the most options. How can HexT find him up here in the B halls? He'd have to be more than a genius.
Zyphon, folks. Major playoff player. He sits inside the apps and he doesn't give HexT too much time. Oh, Zyphon! From that A site, he gets away from HexT, disrespects the molly, the insurance policy. And Sprout will win the force buy.
I think, first of all, the reason Zyphon is able to disrespect that molly is because he rotates so early. Like, he reads into that Palace pressure immediately. and he gets way ahead of that situation. Wiz maybe gets some bad information. They're trying to go for an optimized post plant where Hex can come back to mid and play off of Cat. But HexT on 7 HP wasn't the player he should have relied on. You know, he could have put that bomb down for the full flank, and Hex could have came there. But ultimately, I think, you know, Wiz was obviously safer just planting for halls.
What if he hadn't planted at all? Could he have waited for Hex to get closer?
It could have, but again, I don't think you're like really putting tons of stock in your 7 HP rotator on the other side of the map. He wouldn't have planted if he thought that Zyphon was closed, but Zyphon was closed because he moved fast.
Props to it. Oh, EG, they finally win a pistol in this series. And the win gets taken right out of their sails.
Again, I mean, they might have worked on Mirage, but the confidence isn't at a maximum.
Oh.
Maybe for Tim it is.
Automatic. Damn! Hex not too far off the mark. There's a gun to go grab. Or so there was. Now Staehr's got eyes on it. Past tense. It will get picked up, but that's just as Staehr comes back in. So another player confirmed to be down there. That's enough. They're content with it. They'll back up into the A site. Force EG to do something about it.
The only 2 smokes from EG come out here. Trying to elicit a reaction here. And Zyphon turns his back for a second as Brehze starts to meander his way out of Palace. The scale begins. I mean, lots of space being taken. We saw a double fake earlier from EG. And Sprout don't want to lose control of everything. It might be too late before they get information, but Zyphon gets into a good spot.
Stops the close proximity, but remember, Bomb's still over towards the apartments. Buying its time, waiting things out. We've seen Sprout get antsy. And a deke shot like that understandably sends a shiver down your spine, but they've got one player still here. Refrezh, MP9 drops bomb. Clock's gonna decide this one. And honestly, autimatic just wants to die. So done and dusted. Sprout convert, 3 players up.
Yeah, we saw Sprout. I mean, the over-rotations almost spelled defeat on Ancient, but they narrowly survived that, and now they learned what EG want to try to bring, and they try to bring that same energy into this round, gaming the rotations back and forth. And again, even if you don't get a guy to leave a site entirely, you can more easily convince them to play a retake spot, and just that alone can be enough for you to win. That's good enough information. But now that they know EG like to try to do that, well, might be a fool me once type situation.
That nade. Ooh, right in the middle of the pack. Zyphon has neaLaN's legs taken out straight from beneath him, and that's fast. See you in the next one. Go next.
How often do you see that nade go too far?
Most times.
You know, most times.
Most times.
Oh, Zyphon's nade.
Or it's the poor guy in the back who ends up hitting it, you know? This is something I learned about cannons in the American Civil War.
Oh, okay.
That very often, the way that cannons were used to kill infantrymen was actually by you shot them in front of the line of enemies, and the cannonball would roll and take people's legs off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. Imagine just a cannonball bouncing across the field, and then that just hits you in the hips.
Oh, man.
Ah! Brutal.
They didn't have video games back then, so
No.
What would you do?
Die.
Yeah.
You just go die. That's, yeah.
People always talk about how bad it is these days. They don't think about how bad it was back then.
Yeah, people back then I don't think were too smart. I mean, they used to stand in a line and shoot at each other. How stupid does that sound?
Like in the Westerns?
No, like again in the Civil War.
Okay.
You know, like, bro, you got to 80 AD.
True, yeah. They didn't have mechanics back
Why
then.
aren't you-
The mechanics weren't there. There was no deathmatch, you know.
They're not even strafing back then.
No, we've learned a lot. Okay, well, with neaLaN down early, EG want to try to get some speed, but Sprout smartly take control of connector just as EG were about to press into it. But at the same time, window is an option. However, there is just such a high concentration of CTs towards middle at the moment. Well, they start to leave window. Worried about B now, because there's maybe a cat timing. EG are doing everything right to put pressure, cause movements, but unfortunately...
Getting killed for it.
Yeah, all the responses from Sprout are just right.
autimatic does find a gap through window. That looks nice. Staehr off of the stairs. Okay. That's a thing. And autimatic has 10 seconds left to 1v3. Okay.
I wonder he's defending that spot.
Yeah, right. It's all in the name. And so with it, it is Sprout again. But you're dead on, right? We see evil geniuses trying to shift into different positions, into different ideas, and in reality, it's just Sprout looking very, very sharp.
Yeah, the idea is map control causes insecurity, causes mistakes, loosens the grip of the defense, and ruins the communication. And they kind of get all of those things. But every time Sprout, nervously peek into a new angle, well, they find a moment. Guy with a nade out, guy has his head turned to the side. So that can be maybe a symptom of EG working too much map control at once, right? If you don't control the variables, well then suddenly that also becomes the reason you lose. It could be chalked up to luck in that spot. Oh, we watched this and this, but if they tried to slow it down, put more pressure on one spot. They also don't thin out their attack, and then they can have multiple people watching one angle, whereas right there, they're pressuring a ramp, connector, and window at the same time. Almost too good for their own good.
The one smoke and flash gets closer. refrezh just looking for any sign of intelligent life. Gonna make a pocket for himself to play within. Crossfire here from Lau. Oh, refrezh dies to the deagle. Yeah, right? Damn, that one hurt. But unfortunately for EG, we get a quick pop from Sprout players out through market. Lau gets around the corner to just hold off on mid. And losing 2 players here, it's not the worst.
Not the worst. Yeah, so many reliable riflers here on Sprout. Again, they have assembled such a good team. You know, from the free agents that were available to just the players that had just left their most recent teams, you know, immediately snatching them up before anybody else could grab them. And it started off very strong with their RMR. And that's the reason that we're talking about them right now. I think if not for that result, we would be much more measured about our expectations. Be a feather in the cap of their veto to take a Mirage win here. But the thing is, again, it was EG who really, they put themselves on the line taking it to Mirage in the first place. That's something that may be criticized and rightfully so on the desk, the fact that they took this risk. But the game isn't over yet. So far, EG only a pistol here to start out this first half.
Don't even know if he gets to see that one as he's unscoping. I love a little pop play like this. Even if Hex falls down in front of it, Zyphon, easy enough reaction. Although Sprout's a little bit jumbled up inside jungle.
Yeah, they've been very active in here, but in a weird way where it looks like they're just overlapping. It looks like Hex is looking for the silent drop in this spot, but he's going to be in full view of Zyphon. And an approach from both sides, and HexT, he comes through. Beautiful move.
Zyphon ends up shooting the shadow. Sets himself up to fail. Lau.
Riflers here still.
Hanging on to the box. refrezh is going to tuck in. neaLaN right there at the top of the connector, ready for the gunfight. But refrezh comes out on top of it, and we've got this one evened out. autimatic headshot off of mid. Hunting for the wallbang, knows that refrezh is still there, but he swings.
Oh, and they don't see anything now. A.
He stops HexT, and that bomb doubles back. autimatic going to be the thorn in the mid control.
Oh, they're a bit slow now on the rotation. autimatic as they walk up connector. First kill's easy.
Clotheslined. Flash dodged. Lau, chance to shine. autimatic toying with him and just buying time for Wiz to sprint over towards that B site. It's Lau into the clutch. We already saw this one go south once, but this time Wiz will not be killed as he plants. He's got that bomb down up in his hands and he pushes down the catwalk. Lau's gonna come in from a different angle, but remember, one bullet, a singular shot out of Lau's AK, and Wiz is a dead man.
Yeah, and does he have time to spare? There's a kit here, so Wiz looking for a fast shot, and he grabs it. Well done, 6 HP. Needs to hit it right away, and he does deliver.
Beautifully done. Plants, gets off site, goes and carves his path through middle.
Nice round out autimatic.
And also I like not reacting to just the defuse attempt, but feeling that there's no mid flank and just posting up already, right? Wiz is scoped in, Lau comes around the corner, knife out, thinks that he's got to somehow bait out the shot. In reality, Wiz is already prepared.
This is ironically a round where I think Sprout actually set up quite well for everything that was coming in, but refrezh handled connector so well. I love the wide swing up the stairs for anybody who's playing close left connector. That's the optimal punish. Some people peek and give the opponent in there too much of a fair fight, and he really pressed his advantage by going wide. And then when he got the A ramp kill, thought, okay, well, that's it for EG, but in between all that action, autimatic popped up on the bench, took out Cat, came into connector, looked for some more, and just bought time for Wiz. Well, they've got 2 rounds, but let's see if they can get 2 in a row.
refrezh feeling the pressure. There's a follow-up in position, but they decide to eject, hold off.
Yeah, I mean, they make tons of noise, cause the rotations. It really did feel like the exec was coming, and there was no molly to stop them. And, well, they actually, you know, they win some space off of this. They've got the CTs to move. That's pretty interesting from EG. I wonder if they really just wanted to give that audible and then re-aggress, but it's activated this lurk from autimatic, and this was how they got a lot of good success on Ancient. And now they're just ready to re-exec into this round.
Their nades have all gone down.
Sprout, I think they're ready. Yeah, they're at least ready for the lurk. They have 2 people in the site.
XELLOW made a bunch of sound as if he was running into the market.
Ooh, that's their 1 A player.
And scoped in and doubled back. The other A player is actually already through Palace. So we'll see if Lau can come back. We've got 2 ops here on the play.
Oh, that was fast.
Very quick shot from XELLOW. The moment Brehze creases the screen, and now the ramp flank could come through. I mean, at the moment, EG fully exposed to this. I mean, we've even got Wiz just scoped up, standing in the open. It's just going to be weird for Lau because he's working with the op. So he's going to have to somehow finagle 2 kills out of this. And with Wiz going deep onto default, now Lau could swap over to that Galil, refrezh looking for his chance to come in from connector. But the other Ts have just managed to disappear. It's 2 more kills back the way of Sprout. neaLaN shows himself, and the bomb planted for this. Oh, he blocks it, and it's close, but Staehr comes off the defuse for the fight, and EG take a 3rd.
Yeah, that's really well done. Dude, EG are doing some new shit. I mean, sorry, excuse me. They're doing some new stuff. I was really excited about that. I mean, I like that that pump fake on the B site with the nades that came out to start things off. Honestly, I feel like I used to see this in CS, but this feels like a kind of a very modern take on it. I mean, it's a fake, but specifically just for map control. I mean, they use it to expand on mid, and they prey on the fact that Sprout, they rotate very freely, and they find a new way to do it, so it's not as obvious to Sprout, but Sprout all the same fall for it. And the whole while you can see it's calculated, right? refrezh didn't even throw that incendiary into the B halls.
Right? It's on their own. Ooh.
Dude, he's rifling.
neaLaN.
He has some massive entry rounds in this series so far.
You know, this is why it's a bit, and it's not because I'm from NA, it's a bit disconcerting that EG lost that first map, because we saw some of the best play out of neaLaN, some of the best play out of Wiz yet. It's like everything...
Emotionally, it sucks. For
yeah, it's just, you know, it all came together, and obviously they didn't get the map win, so... Feels like a bit of a wasted chance.
Connor's French. He's from France. He doesn't even care about EG. So it's totally unbiased here. I don't know. You don't want to let the close one slip.
Totally. I just don't want to see wasted effort, you know? But if again, like at the start of this round, we're getting more neaLaN headshots on these AKs, if Wiz is picking up kills with the rifles as well, I'm like, okay, it's not just going to be the one-off map, right? If that was a close Ancient and then this one just gets a total Sprout blowout because, as Yanko sort of expected, individual level of Sprout could just shine on Mirage. The Pug Stars in their element. But neaLaN ain't no chump. Double headshot. Both these forward-facing CTs. A little unfortunate, Lau actually just looks away. He's like checking his right side just as neaLaN comes in. But that's why you can't be caught slipping. Don't snooze, or you lose.
I know like a really cool dad who said that.
Moses?
Yeah, Moses. Somehow I think he's even cooler than that. But a dad all the same. Congratulations, Moses.
Hex sees him. Yeah, you ain't nope, not getting away with that. But it's actually 2 boosts.
What's better than 1?
Who? Refrezh, I'm sorry, but the USP not destined to thrive in this moment. No, sir. Jungle players, both down. Deagle, however, a little bit better. And we've seen some clean Deagle headshots coming out of Sprout, but this doesn't matter because it's EG's round win. 3 players up, converting, and drawing back this T side. Right? Remember, this started, of course, with them winning Pistol and then getting that loss in the follow-up.
Yeah, seeing EG get better is one thing that's been pretty cool, but also, I mean, seeing them try to carve out an identity in a world where everyone's sort of just playing the most optimal version of CS is also, it's not only cool, but it's also ambitious. Like, I think you sort of start to build in the direction to catch a tailwind of a very good team, get comfortable in that zone, and then maybe carve out an identity. That's where with top 5 teams in the world, you can speak to their play style in specific. But with EG and the way that they are gaming rotations and stuff like that, making that their brand, I think, is pretty interesting. But I think, it's meaningless unless they actually win maps, and so far they have an 0-1 start. So looking for some dignity here on Mirage, but coming back into this game already has been pretty impressive.
Interrupted by the flashbang, but still intent on taking middle. Careful, though. Underpass player. Could be a real problem here for neaLaN. Flashes over top connector. Oh, automatic. Screws with Lau's vision. Zyphon on the trade frag. Underpass player comes out, and that will catch the kill favorably to the way of Sprout. But Brehze wastes no time. Slashes through that A site. And honestly, they had left a gap in it. Top Con, the closest player. EG's pounce out Palace. Catches Sprout off guard. And now we've got Wiz with a chance to shine from inside sight. Hex just a couple steps behind him. And then Brehze even deeper. But who's even going to be needed? Because right now it's just Wiz connecting the op shot and keeping Sprout at bay. CT smoke top connector. Oh, Staehr. He manages to get himself another, but it's really just his evacuation plan. And so EG, believe your eyes, with a lead.
Seen some great moments out of Staehr this half, but honestly, that was a weird one, right? He was the guy sitting in underpass. His teammate is full blind in connector, and he doesn't swing. I feel like he sort of played that situation a little bit too passively. Like, look at all of this unfold, and meanwhile, Staehr, look at the trades and how they go down from this point on. Damage into connector, the player on Cat finishes off the one in connector, and then Staehr comes out later on. I think if he had swung with his teammates there, they easily destroy mid. neaLaN had no idea there was someone down there, but at least they kicked it off with a good flash. Either way for Sprout, they get together another full buy. Maybe he got blind, I'm not sure.
XELLOW. Oh. Looked away from a flash, I assume. I didn't see it myself. Warriors just trying yip-de-doodle trick shots. Crosses back over. So we get that lean through the murder hole. And the off chance anybody comes climbing through the window behind him, and autimatic could be up to those antics in a late round situation. But bomb is on Wiz, and the utility is basically dried up for EG. We've got a smoke and a Molotov. But maybe Brehze is just going to go for that dry contact. Oh, be careful now. Refrezh, known to go for the jump spots. And with that presence shown, they do get Staehr.
Dude, BApp's control has been massive for EG in terms of controlling the flow of these CTs. Look at autimatic again. Taking over space here, knowing where Sprout are going to move. Playing with a lot of prescience.
Ooh,
and then open kill once again on Zyphon. What a shot from Wiz.
Just snaps it back into the player on default.
They've recreated the same successful situation from the past.
Ooh, he commits. Wiz gets off of that bomb plant. Brehze gives the cover from the top stairs. Damn, Wiz. About to be ran down. Refrezh. He'll come in with the mid flank. Catches neaLaN at the very least. But honestly, Sprout's players, they're just trying to get the hell out of here. And it looks like autimatic will let them go. So very nicely done. autimatic coming up connector. Oh, Lau kills his teammate. Additional costs racking up, and EG additional rounds. More importantly than anything else, they get themselves back into the A site. Like you said, rinse and repeat.
It's the same thing. They use that BApp's control. That's actually what's been paramount right now to EG controlling rotations. It's very impressive stuff, actually. They're using all parts of the map right now, and this is actually... They put the same amount of pressure across the map to get everyone to go over towards B and elicited the Zyphon peek, who got nervous as the first bit of information for the CTs. And as soon as Zyphon died, well, it was already too late. That's been good stuff, man. There's actually nothing more frustrating than losing a round because you rotated too early. Like, that feels the worst. Everybody wants a good fight.
Yeah, it feels like that's just those, that's when you just kind of outplay yourself. It's one thing to lose to someone else, but to lose to yourselves... Despicable.
It just feels like they're inside your brain. They made you do something.
Yeah.
That was a bad idea. That's just like the purest form of CS right there. The most undignified way to go. Thing you're going to hate yourself for when you watch the demos. But we saw that on Ancient, and they still lost the map, so.
Staehr. Oh, stuck here. Fire's going to force him to commit, and as he goes back outwards, autimatic gets him. So, sensing that presence, not the first time we've seen him over there as well. Go back to the round where they're trying to press up connector and Staehr late plays it. So a consistency that EG will utilize to their advantage.
And the early gamble here from Sprout. Well, we'll see how many players they stick into the B site. But for now, it's just about EG, simply not making the wrong move. And with a minute, they have time to get information. Going back to A is the right call. This game started 5-1.
Zyphon on a pedestal. Good damage versus Wiz. Puts a smoke down to create a bit of a question mark towards Ticket. And we do see the T's just kind of stall for a second. But the counter-terrorists bail?
Yeah, I mean...
Okay.
I think they lost as soon as they went for the stack, and EG picked the site, saw the retake player, and now they've got an open plant. They have an op. There's no flashes for Sprout to get over even Wiz on 14 HP. You'd assume he'd get a free frag right here.
So outplayed again.
Yeah.
And to go back, I would rather be out-aimed than out-brained.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying for the last 3 rounds. Like,
feels so much worse.
Yeah, absolutely. At least when you're out-aimed, you say unlucky. But when you yourself moved your model over towards the other side of the map for no reason,
Makes you feel real small, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's good stuff.
Now you're just playing to save, and you tried to save with 4, but already down to 2. So your silver lining, getting thinner and thinner. HexT is going to finish off refrezh as Zyphon puts his brain right in front of it. Nicely done there, because that actually has massive impact. 4 players, because especially when you consider the chance that they would have had going into the retake. You know, they could have given that one an old college try. But you saved nothing, and now you'll be left with nothing. Nothing other than open wounds. Sprout, 5 on the CT side. EG have all of a sudden turned this bad boy around. It was 5-1. It's 5-8. 7 rounds in a row. Pistols just to get through here in the 14th. But EG are not about to skip a step or open any door. Gonna leave Lau boosted. Lethal Deagle. Oh, catches Wiz. 3rd player in the apartments loses his head.
Gotta get his, doesn't he?
So tough. Oh, refrezh. Nice first one. We've got damage versus Brehze. XELLOW able to capitalize. Goes back in as he keeps neaLaN in the open. Top mid player here for autimatic. And Zyphon just runs straight out Con into his death.
Oh, and Tim's not going to get caught by the window guy. There was a chance, actually, Staehr, if he played in front of connector. autimatic had no idea a second guy would be there.
So neaLaN waits his moment or two, just gets autimatic ever closer. Reconfirming positions. They don't know about that second. Bomb's going to go down default as autimatic locks in the market door.
One
CTs, 1 smoke. Flash goes forward. Nice little bit of team play here. Again, just not giving Sprout the chance to expand out through market, throw that smoke grenade forward, set up Staehr in any real way, but maybe him sliding through the window silently could still work out. Oh, nice Deeg. But where did neaLaN go? That's the last question, and the answer is hiding behind bench. Staehr starts to make sound, and if he had turned and killed him...
That would have been a Zico moment.
If he had, flabbergasted would have been both Sponge and Yanko.
Yeah. Right.
Watching on from the catwalk.
Yes, choosing a team to coach for.
So that there is 9 to EG's T side. Double op setup coming out of Sprout to close out the half.
Yeah. And this is just classic anti-eco moves here from EG to organize the cat split with B Halls. Sprout had nothing. Their money transparent. EG have absolutely survived a bad start. And something new. Again, the walkout here on A ramp with an opening kill. Oh.
Jungle Peak gets a little damage in, but
They won the site.
they've won this half. If they hadn't lost to that force buy in the second round, I feel like Sprout would have been walking away with 2 or 3 only. So honestly, EG, take a bow at the end of this T side because there was layers to it. There was a diverse playbook, we had strategy, we had adaptation, and we had strong individual skills. Very close affair from autimatic, neaLaN, Wiz, and Brehze, and we'll see what they've got in store for us on the defense.
Yanko and I bringing you something a little bit different here. Been doing a listen-in on our own. Yanko with Sprout, me with EG, and EG's comms throughout. Very, very calm. Even when they were down in that start, they didn't lose their cool. neaLaN's definitely the boss. Tim, the 2IC, and well, Vorborg, when he chipped in on the mic, he was just reassuring. Everything's going fine, just look out for these little details.
Yeah, and for Sprout, it was a little bit uncomfortable for them to play. It felt like they were a little bit too passive. Barry was getting good reads in the time, was giving some good calls, but just tough to play sometimes. It felt like EG was really on point in this one, right? Lack of information for Sprout, difficult to rotate, and it seemed like EG was always one step ahead. A frustrating half for Sprout.
Very default heavy. Over to Scrawny and Launders now to bring you the second half.
What was that at the end?
I don't know.
But that was
someone getting rowdy.
I like that the comms actually mirrored what we saw.
Yes.
As well, that made sense. The fact that EG crawled back after the 1-5 start, it has to be because they were composed. They had a good read on the situation. They looked like they were winning the entire time by the end of that half. So,
shout out Chad for being in the trenches as well, man. Man never stops.
Not Yanko?
Well, he's got to be here. He's our analyst.
Yeah, true.
Chad's,
true.
Chad's in the after hours, bro. That's the passion. All right, we get it up into the A site. Yeah, he can smell him. Oh, but Brehze, as he's about to get cleared, it's that deep peek from neaLaN off the spawn, and the bomb drops towards Ticket. You've been punched, bud. Zyphon, no chance at getting out of that default position. And you could see Lau hunting for the deep Ticket kill, but neaLaN peaks at the perfect moment, and just like in the first 15, EG too sharp.
It's two pistols. Now one actually for EG, but they didn't convert the first time around. So I think Sprout want to try to keep hope alive. I think they probably have limited expectations here on Mirage. I think, again, I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't expect EG to pick a map that they don't have any wins on. But after the initial start, you'd think, all right, well, maybe they have a chance to put in an effort, but the shots here are looking good for EG. Wiz having another great map, honestly. And the drawing board here for Sprout, as they have no investment.
So they'll wait for the mid play. They say good things come to those who wait. They also say early bird gets the worm.
Dude, that guy has been contradicting himself since the beginning of time.
Well, time is of the essence.
Okay. That was good. That caught me off guard.
Yeah?
Yes. Like
me being witty?
It's a rare sight, man. What can I say? I'm just kidding.
I'm not offended.
Okay.
Unarmored heads at the top of middle. Zyphon, you're dead. Maui Snake did still think that this one goes to map 3, expects Inferno to still possibly be picked up by Sprout, and I would say based on what we saw versus OG, they've definitely got a game in place. So Evil Geniuses testing Sprout's Ancient to the very limit, coming in on their map pick and making it look easy breezy beautiful. So far throughout this series, we're talking about Evil Geniuses being in control of the game.
I agree, yeah, definitely. I mean, dude, I just feel like when you hear us talk about EG, it's like, well, of course they think EG are good. But honestly, if you know what you're watching, okay, they've actually called some pretty good T-haps.
Oh, you can see the bigger picture, right? Yeah. EG clearly have a blueprint. Molotov towards top mid, XELLOW. There's no fight behind this, just utility pressure. I'm curious to see how active EG CT side remains. Moving pieces and whatnot.
I don't know any good teams that are defined by how passive they are. And I think that's something really important because these days, back in the day, you play optimized, chill, and wait. Play your advantage. These days, it feels like if you don't take every little bit of map control that's open and can't figure that out, you're going to lose to a team who does. So, activity is key.
MP9 cleared out Ooh, and so is Brehze.
Those were kind of scary entries, weren't they?
Yeah, those were headshots through and through. Wiz's chance to shine, but oh, he slides. Oh, beneath.
Oh,
so sick that he comes out wide, kills the second player, then gets what he originally wanted. Nice effort from Wiz. Somebody had to go big.
Wiz's smoke was perfect.
Wow.
He gave him the best chance to take a fight through halls and also rotate back if he wanted to. Mid-site smoke there opened up options.
You know, shout out Sprout for coming in with those convincing initial kills. But Wiz, all of a sudden, you know, he scrambled all the panic. He made Sprout for a moment think things were going south. Props for them, or to them, for recovering. And now you can go ahead and reap the reward. 12-6, and it's pistols up for EG. But Wiz just gave us another moment where, again, I personally haven't seen him, A, play this well across the series.
That's because he hasn't.
Okay, so that one's just blunt. And B, show me any rifle work, right? I've seen, like, you know, this classic, like, oh, I got 6 kills in a map, but there were some pretty fast op shots in there. No, like, we've seen just really cool rifle 2Ks today. And I didn't know he had that in him.
Yeah, and I think he's just clearly, he's more comfortable. So that's great. Great to see.
There's a reason he was in the pipeline. Again, no tools to work with. A site completely clear for the taking, so Sprout, it's a T side that's got at least some legs beneath it. Baby legs for now.
Yeah, but we got a very stark reminder of the entry power here from Sprout in that previous round towards B, and that was with EG, multiple chances to tip the scales back in their favor. Everybody dying without a frag until the end, so...
I do feel like when Sprout will be given a chance, you can just hold W and press left click. When it's not too complicated, Sprout still have that extra level in them. They'll pack a punch, and EG will feel it throughout this half, no doubt. Last second scramble in, tap that bomb, see if you can cause anybody to give up their life. But it's looking like it's all Staehr and Zyphon.
Oh, it's a lot of money made here for Sprout to close that out. And all the little advantages as they try to create a snowball here. Still a significant lead, but we know how fast that can disappear. And it definitely inspired confidence in Sprout at the end of Ancient when they were able to come back, because it felt like EG were just going to roll over that game. And then Sprout all of a sudden showed us some fantastic CT rounds.
Ooh, Staehr. Okay. Going at it again. Straight past sandwich already. Nice flashes, but autimatic regains vision. Can't manage to control that second one. Lau's pushing around the bench. We've got the T's coming in with kills. It's a Zyphon double to crack open an A site in what feels like 10 seconds.
That was terrifying.
Holy hell.
Yeah, and the follow-up flashes as well. And even though XELLOW died, CTs were rattled right there. They forced them to make a bunch of bad decisions. Our perspective, obviously, we see how EG could have easily dealt with that, but from EG's perspective, they probably have no idea how fast route we're going. They disrespected the molly on ramp, the double flash to get over connector control, the multiple players coming in that direction, Lau and X with the trade, and then over to CT. And, well, actually...
It's alive.
Yeah, it's alive because of this smoke.
It's going to try to stick the defuse. No.
Oh my god.
Oh, HexT. Oh, denied by refrezh. Comes in from the other angle with 2 AKs spraying at him. Down to the wire. But nope.
But nope, and 5 deaths.
That'll hurt.
No money, no gun saved here for EG. Potentially 9 rounds now for Sprout. And we're seeing what kind of Sprout they want to bring into this side. I think it makes perfect sense. Like when we look at OG, for example, and the way that they've simplified their game to make up for the fact they don't feel as confident in the slow, comprehensive rounds by coming through with their pop flash explodes, contact plays. Well, if Sprout don't feel that confident on Mirage, maybe they just turn up the temperature, start to run in the direction of their opponents, and if EG were ready for anything, maybe it wasn't that.
Go Berserker mode.
And it'll speak to Sprout's adaptations ability if they're able to take a map that maybe they weren't fully sure about and they were able to kind of transform on the fly.
Yeah. Even if the first 15 looked really good for EG, even if your own defense isn't the best, I mean, these are fast rounds. In the last 24 hours, that was the fastest A hit I have seen on Mirage, and we cast Furia yesterday.
Yeah. Very true.
So
it'll be frustrating. If EG watched a bunch of games and didn't anticipate this or saw it coming but couldn't find practice that would match up in a similar way and got caught off guard. So right now,
it's a quick package of Wiz rifling. This is that 1v1 he picked up versus Lau.
just impact, lots of impact.
All over, man.
And
Lil's AKs.
so look at the movements here. I mean, it's not Wiz staying stationary. Very combative throughout.
Even a pistol killer, too.
Dude, all through blast groups, it was watching Wiz sit behind smokes, rotate back, get a kill that was in front of him, but not much else. Totally different guy here coming into Kato. Great sign.
Now officially his second European LAN. So still very new to this game. The game that is Tier 1 CS. Now, obviously EG trying to keep this gap between them and Sprout, but Sprout have been turning heads in these last couple of rounds just by nature of their aggression.
Oh, that's
the
a
shot.
Huge punishment. That Molly was trusted for far too long.
Yep. The first peek was right behind it. Oh, and Siphon gonna catch another kill coming out of A ramp. Just like that, the A site has crumbled. Your walls are falling. The orcs have breached the courtyard.
They didn't think they would have it. Man, 3 A ramp plays that quickly. Siphon gets up behind that Molotov like he can see 10 seconds into the round. He knows exactly what he's going to do right after. And Wiz jumping up on Ticket, it was the perfect sign. You know, as soon as they made some presence in connector, they see Wiz in a compromised spot. That top Ticket's a very dangerous position to play because of the Palace play that can come out, because of the A ramp hit. But that early in the round, after we've already seen them try A ramp twice, you can see why Wiz thought, okay, maybe I can be up here for 1 second. Nope, not the case. And then after this, well, they simply can't trade anymore again. The speed is just rattling EG.
They're not even giving them a chance to catch their breath.
This lead is almost meaningless at this point. Again, a situation where EG have to save.
Final timeout called by Sprout. Barry wants in on the action. And I feel like we just got a great instance of the mechanical level that the old Copenhagen Flames were touting when it came to Siphon. Wiz was just taught a valuable lesson. 1 second can be 1 second too long. So we get the scout on automatic. Deagle P250. Bare bones buy out of EG. And unlike Ancient, I feel like we haven't seen too many upsets with lesser guns. So let's see if EG can turn that tail upside down in round 23, or else all of a sudden the success of the first half has evaporated. Sprout will take a second here. For all they know, A site stacked. But wall of smokes up. Molly underneath Palace. There's nothing in the world that EG have here that could stop this. And just in case, Sprout still play through all the procedures.
Well, right site, decisive anti-eco. We saw it last time EG ran in with all their pistols late to draw out some peaks. Dying to ops is definitely the best way to go. But man, you know what? We've seen Sprout play fast, and they've won playing fast. I think they need to see themselves play a little slower and still come out in the same way, like successful. But while they've been playing fast, they've also had minimal losses. So they are so rich. I mean, we're looking at nearly 10K on 3 players or more.
Even more for XELLOW.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We got them fat stacks.
So they have room to make mistakes now, man. I would absolutely rather be Sprout suddenly in this game. The amount of money left over, the rounds we've seen so far in this half. Again, EG, both pistols in this game. Conversions in the second half.
We got to see EG able to put up with the pace. Fight fire with fire. If it comes down to it. Brehze does come off Cat with an effort to shut down something towards Chair, but Staehr wins the fight.
Oh, they're so fast, man. They
Hex solo B already.
Oh,
We've
Hex
got the
didn't hear
player
the drop.
down. Lau behind the pillar, smoke's going out to just try and stave off something, but
Hex
it's
doesn't
here.
know he's out. Oh my god.
Nothing you can do to stop that one. autimatic scrambling back around. Wiz already forfeiting Marketplace, and Blink, you'll miss it. Sprout with conviction into the B site. We are talking a tied game at 12.
And this has been like a 5-minute half.
7 terrorist rounds straight.
That's unreal.
And it's not just like 7 wins by way of post-plant where EG, make it glow. This is just Sprout through and through. If you tuned in 7 rounds ago, you'd think, how'd they get 12 rounds?
Yeah, seriously.
Which is insane, because if we go back to that first half, I'm sat here impressed with rose-tinted glasses thinking, damn, EG, you're piecing it together tonight.
And that's still true, but, well, gotta play both sides, as they say.
Yeah, and sometimes Counter-Strike really does boil down to headshots and such.
So, right there, fast mid control into the one person on the CT side pushing, and it was Brehze. It was a duel that Staehr had, but you could already tell by that peak. I don't think Brehze would be playing out there if you knew exactly how many players were inside of mid. One at the bottom of connector, Staehr inside of chair, and at the same time putting pressure on B. Ready to explode out. And I think the communication got so crazy right there that Hex couldn't even hear Lau dropping out of window and even running around on the back of the site. He threw his smoke in a way that made me feel like he wasn't worried about anybody coming into B site. Back to pistols for EG. This one's for a lead. And again, so much money. Zyphon on $1,300 after a buy. There's no telling how many rifles EG will have to get through to even have a chance to have an anti-eco.
Oh, but that one M4, little bit of aggression, doubled up with HexT Deagle. It's something, and he can even leave. You know, of all these rounds, we haven't seen anything for EG. This one had something,
It did.
Past tense, it's already been cleared out, and the bomb can come join them. We're going to see the other pistol players try to just sprint over, but as they cross windows, XELLOW will pin Brehze to the back of that marketplace, and neaLaN just mere seconds away from stopping that bomb. Wiz picks up an AK, silver lining maybe, has a smoke to try to push this out, but XELLOW's just got all these lines, every angle needed to just keep EG away. The hope of fighting back with lesser weapons taken from them in round 25.
Dude, this is just, it's like a T-side masterclass.
It's so sick.
Yeah, it's incredibly fun to watch. XELLOW's keeping up as the opera, the most stationary. Wow, off the corner of a smoke. And again, as you mentioned, like while everybody is out here making chaotic movements, XELLOW is the calm one, holding the long, powerful lines, not missing a shot in a round that absolutely could have gone awry. And they're missing these kills by seconds because Sprout are moving back quickly. It's not looking good, Brav.
No, sir.
EG will invest again, but they're just at the will of Sprout right now. I feel like you have every reason in the world to use too much utility early. You're worried about Sprout. You probably don't have confidence versus them in duels. So let's see what EG bring. They know this is one of their final chances to stop this absolute barrage of a T-side attack, or at least slow it down. And I think this is, I was honestly waiting for a round to be called to be a bit slower earlier on, because you would think that EG would find a way to stop things early. But again, you have a huge incentive to use grenades early because you have to stop that option first part of the round, like after you've seen it so many times. You can't let them just run out the ramp over and over again.
They're going to try to walk one up top mid. We did see Sprout stunned in middle last round. And again, there's a good amount of numbers here for EG. autimatic sees that as an invitation. Could have gotten a second, but Staehr is sharp. Stares him in the eyes, takes his head off, and forces neaLaN to now have to go back and try to deal with this A site. We've seen previously a great pounce from EG straight out from Palace, and it looks like Sprout are gearing up for the exact same situation.
Oh man, they got the Palace walkout. There's no one here on the A site.
Nobody.
Yeah, and there's no op on this angle. Where is Wiz at the moment? They've actually got him inside the B site. And Lau, oh no, they tried to clear underpass. He picks the perfect timing to come up. Oh, HexT! He jumps back up!
The timing!
Oh.
Lau just slides between both. Evil Genius is trying to throw neaLaN over to the A site, but it's a barren wasteland of defense again.
Jesus, they were too uncomfortable to go for the full clear, and their worst fear was there. They were watching it for so long, but Wiz gets a kill. Brehze on a big flank.
Hero mode. That's the only thing that can save them, is Brehze going hero mode. And a great chance at both kills, sure enough. Nice snap, Staehr removed. He's gonna catch Wiz on the rotation, but there's a smoke on top of bomb. Brehze, it's a fake. Staehr sends shots in, tries to jump and move, and Brehze is gonna get back on top, but doesn't have a kit. And without a kit, it's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be close. Brehze, it's white.
Oh, he's got it.
Oh, talk about heroics.
Jesus. Gotta hand it to Brehze, man. That was such a nice transfer. The perfect amount of patience. And without every millisecond extra, he wouldn't have set up a way for his team to win this. The trade would have been too easy. Syphon's spot was so powerful up there in the halls, he probably thought the round was over. Honestly, why is he leaving Palace in this situation? Well, Brehze won't be asking too many questions, and then plays the 1v1 to perfection, even though it comes down to literally milliseconds on that defuse. Gets that full swing out.
Brehze, inspired by that last clutch, his teammates all watching on as he pulls it off. And now we get a much more front-facing A-site setup from EG. That vacant bomb site that so easily slipped into Sprout's hands, no longer a problem. But check out that B site instead. It's HexT. He's got the Molotov, but he's only wielding a FAMAS.
It's not a great gun to be in this situation, but with the FAMAS, he makes magic happen.
It's one at least. That smoke making the T's nervous. XELLOW takes a ton of damage. Brehze, he could get these two frags and cut them off. Syphon, footing inside the B site and a push up from the bomb. autimatic will find the little that was left of XELLOW, but it's not enough to stop them from getting into B.
Dude, rocking a hard place right now. They have no money, 3v3. They want to retake, but if they lose right here,
what a gamble.
It's going to be match point, most likely.
It's risky CS if they go for this, but sometimes risk is reward. And Staehr, given a chance to shine, catches autimatic in the mid play first. So now it's all out from market if you choose to, but instead they will tuck tail Sprout.
Oh.
With the defenses in position, HexT starts it off with one kill. Brehze ready to lock them off on ladder, but Sprout, where there's a will, there's a way.
Last round, EG, they get that because of Brehze's massive play, but they also, I want to say, it was a slow round, and EG did keep up for a minute, and then we had that amazing Lau NX lurk to tip the scales, and EG win it so narrowly. One alive right there. The money is now the biggest problem for them. Sprout, they can play with freedom. I mean, they could literally run the same strat 3 times. If it works once, they still have full buys each and every one of those times, and EG can't sustain. One player alive in that last one. They're forced to save with 2. They're playing against match point, and I'm wondering what the rebuys are even going to be in this situation. Enough money to hold them back, at least. One last chance. No guarantees they win the round, however. And we still have 12K for refrezh, 10K for Staehr.
Deaths mean nothing to them at this point.
Seriously. They can be as aggressive as they want in the exits. They want to come for EG full force.
Oh, Siphon again. Again, he gets into that little corner on top of the ramp. Finds an opening kill. Now refrezh given his chance, and Brehze just not ready for that close proximity out of refrezh. Sprout back to what has worked from the get-go on this T side. You shouldn't be surprised at this point. It's just the fact you cannot hang on. autimatic trying his damnedest, off out from Wiz, but Staehr's there to trade. And HexT has picked up the kill elsewhere, so it's him into the 1v2, the young Canadian kid. In connector, and the bomb plant can't be stopped. He is just lost in a sea of smokes, able to try and push out, but Lau locks him in, and with it, it is Sprout to 15.
This is such an impressive victory if they actually make this happen the way that they performed on this T side. This is what it feels like when you scrim a team that's way above your level and they treat you with no respect. They take so many fast risks over and over again, and they consistently work. They demoralize you, they beat you up, they show their individual skill over and over again. They play without fear throughout this entire thing and have actually almost made their dreams a reality. Looking for a 2-0 victory over EG. They'll go to Value Village, get everything they can. No op for Wiz, 2 pharmacists here, an aggressive move, an early op shot to shy them off of mid. Wiz wishes he could go toe-to-toe here with Staehr, but doesn't have the tools to do it.
Now he doesn't even have the HP to try and continue that brazen play, the aggression turned away. EG tails tucked as they limp back through Murder Hole.
This game is so close, but it doesn't feel like it at all. Like, oh man.
A tale of two sides, truly.
Oh, connector control, just one. Rotations over towards the B site.
Staehr not letting go of that W key, just slicing in behind them. autimatic back turned. The timing, not even a possibility in his mind's eye. And down goes the ticket player. Sprout, looking like the Evil Genius's game plan was going to be enough. Their own T side looks so good. And Ancient comes down to a matter of 2 rounds with both pistols in Sprout's back pockets, despite EG's seemingly perfect strategy, outplaying them at times, forcing their rotates. And I will say, you know, Sprout were forced to react to Evil Geniuses across both of these maps, but nothing could have prepared EG for the blunt force trauma of this T side on Mirage. An absolute beating in this second map will give Sprout a chance to face off versus ENCE to get into the group stage. And as much as we can sit back and praise the preparation of the Evil Geniuses, this is the end of the road for them in Katowice.
Now they're gonna have to take that one on the chin. That's a tough loss. I want to highlight, though, continuously how good that was from Sprout. I've never seen a game that was 16-13 and looked so lopsided all the same.